the journey has carried the company far to the northernmost reaches of Middle-earth. After rescuing innocent merchants from a band of brigands, visiting a razed village, and moving to uncharted territory, the company finds themselves in a place where the days refuse to end, and bears must be fought to find shelter from the wrath of Forodwaith.
So when last we left off, you all had set off from Bree on your way north toward the frozen lands of Forodwaith, towards the Frost Bay, the Ice Bay of Forokel. Along your way, you had come across an ambushed caravan, and the bandit camp containing the bandits which had ambushed them helped free those caravanners without shedding any blood, presented your token, which resembled the token which they were given, basically saying that they were more or less in service to the Black Orc Snava. You made your way, escorted them back to their village took a little bit of a rest there, and then continued your way north to Whitehorn, finding the village completely desolated and devoid of life. And continuing on into the frozen wastes, you sought shelter in a cave, finding that it was inhabited by a great white bear. You succinctly slew the bear and are now taking shelter in its home, finding a bear cub nestled within. And so, you sit in this cave, isolated from the cold winds that whistle just on the mouth of this cave, and this small bear cub nestled in the back, whimpering, afraid of the invaders which have come into its home. What would you like to do?
Well, if I remember correctly, I already kind of at least started making friends with the bear, so I'm probably kind of stick around with it and try to comfort it however I can.
Okay. I'm trying to remember... in Hearten, right there. So you rolled an Hearten roll and got a great success. So you can see that it has a kind of... It's still afraid of you.
Sure.
But it doesn't seem actively hostile. In fact, the longer you kind of sit there, it musters the courage to stand up and make its way over to its mother, and not really knowing the difference, nestles up next to its mother.
Yeah.
Staying away from the bear, staying near the entrance, just keeping a watch out in case there's a dad bear.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Dad bear went out to get milk and he's not coming back.
Yeah.
It's possible. Or it's possible that he just got delayed and he's about back.
He got held up at the office. It's not
Exactly.
Yeah, the
Loosening
bear
his
office.
tie, comes back with his briefcase and just sees me in the opening. I'm like, oh crap.
His
the end of the
secretary had some troubles with the computer, and he had to stay late to help her. And
What would the bear's first reaction be? Oh my god, she's cheating on me with the tuna dime.
Or he's just gonna say, oh good, and just open the briefcase and hand me a bunch of money and be like, wait, what?
I didn't want to deal with this anymore, thanks.
Oh man.
Anyway.
It's the last week of the month and they're behind quotas, and they had to have an emergency meeting that went on longer.
yeah. It's the last of the month. The sales are unreal. They're going to offer you deals at the end of the month that they wouldn't offer you other times.
Oh.
Keep watch.
Oh god. Okay.
Regardless.
Probably helping Miragar with a fire to see if we can't cook something up.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a craft roll to build a fire, and take an extra success die.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say you can.
Wow. Unreal.
I think Miragar is helping you build the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that this fire is probably brighter than the top of Sauron's tower.
You might be onto something, yeah, for sure. Okay. And
Is that why he hates us? We can build a better fire than him?
Probably, among other things.
Is it hot in this cave?
Yeah. And
Yes,
you build a small crackling fire. You see just a little bit of white smoke trail up to the roof of the cavern and travel out. But it's going well enough after a little bit to confidently begin to roast some meat. And as you begin to roast this meat, you see the bear cub kind of nudges its mother a little bit, almost as if to get her attention, notices that she's not moving, and then begins to curiously make its way over to you all at the smell of the meat.
I mean, I would probably take my dagger and like carve out a piece of meat for it, kind of set it off to the side, and see if it will partake.
And it kind of curiously gets up close to it and nudges it a little bit, and then eventually gobbles it right up. And you can see it sits on its hind haunches and stares at you.
I'll like kind of put my hand out to see if it lets me approach it and touch it.
With your great success earlier, I'd say that you can confidently get up close to it and probably, at the very least, touch it. You don't think it'll let you handle it, like
Sure.
pick it up and mess around with it and stuff, but yeah, you can confidently touch it, pet it.
All right. Larry's probably just kind of softly talking to him, like, I'm sorry that your mother's gone, but we did what we had to survive. If she would have let us coexist, I would have happily done so, but I guess you're my responsibility now.
Here it lets out a kind of a higher pitched groan. And as you all are keeping watch, those of you who are keeping watch, I would say go ahead and give me an awareness roll.
Yep.
Goes Daddy Bear.
All day, every day.
Missed it by one.
Okay. Thrush, the snow falling outside is just too dense. It's tough to see much of anything farther than 10 feet outside of the mouth of this cave. But Aranel, you can kind of isolate your senses, isolate your hearing, kind of phase out the wind, and your eyes pierce through the snow. And as you look about, it doesn't seem as though anything is about.
Okay.
So, at this point, you feel as though you could probably save here, or you could probably take refuge here for the night. What little night you get here, safely.
So you think we're safe?
For now.
All right.
Get some rest.
Go in, find a crate or a corner close enough to the fire to get warmth, but far enough away from the bear to decide to take a snack in the middle of the night and go get some rest.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Perfect. And so, throughout the quote-unquote night, the resting period, you see that light peeks in through the mouth of the cave at all hours. But you do get your long rest, so if anybody needs to use fellowship points to regain shadow, or to regain hope, you're more than welcome to do that.
Regain Shadows is the expansion we haven't gotten to yet, where we get to be the Nazgul, right?
Yes. That's the
I'm
next
gonna
game I'm
take
planning.
two.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna as well because I'm barely ahead of my shadow at the moment. Barely. So
Yeah,
I've still
same.
got a
I'm
good
gonna
buffer,
take at least one.
but my luck will shorten that gap real quick. So
Yep. I'll take a couple.
Okay, very good. And so, you rest for the evening and awaken back a little stiff from sleeping on the rocky cave floor, but you awaken rested nonetheless. And the small bear awakens as well, kind of rousing itself from keeping huddled through the night with its mother. And you feel as though if you're going to get going, is there anything you'd like to do while you are still here? What do you plan to do about the bear cub?
Larry will see if he can kind of coax the cub to follow him.
I would say give me a persuade roll with and take away a success die from that.
Nope. It's going to make it neutral.
Great success. Okay. All right. So how is it that you coax this bear to follow you?
Probably start with food. Just be like, I don't know if you can understand me, but unfortunately your mother's no longer going to be able to take care of you. If you follow us, we'll keep you fed and try to raise you the best we can.
Okay. And you coax it along with food and give it little bits here and there, but you are able to convince it to follow you, at least for a ways.
Okay. And probably while I'm kind of getting out of the cave, I'll tell the others, if you want to get anything from the mother, now's the time while the cub's away.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we wanted to try to skin this or
Yeah.
I don't
get some meat.
I don't know if we have time to skin it, but yeah, maybe some meat.
Okay.
Thrush is just petting his horse and making sure it's fed. Like bear. Talking to the horse.
All right, so if anybody is trying to harvest anything from this bear, go ahead and give me a hunting roll.
I will, I was gonna say, ooh.
Oof.
Okay.
Aranel butchers whatever she's trying to do.
Ooh. Yeah, let's
I
get
don't- I- yeah, I don't
a
think-
Gandalf.
Yeah, I don't think the plus from the bow would have helped with that.
Yeah. At this
Yeah,
point,
no.
at this point with the cold, this bear is nigh frozen solid. It is very difficult to get much of anything, let alone cut through its thick hide.
Seems we waited a little too long.
I would try, but I'm with the cover. So.
All
It's
right.
very awkward.
And so, as you all set out once again, traveling is very, very hard. That does have some mechanical implications, but as such, I would have the guide give me yet another travel roll, if you please.
All right. Do I need to remove anything, or is it just going to impact your tables you're using?
It's just going to impact, basically it's going to impact how far you can go between events.
Okay. All right. All right. Couple ones. Got a great success.
Okay, very good. Okay, and then I need somebody to give me 2DF and then 1DS.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, Miragar can't catch a break at this point, can he?
Oh no.
Okay, sounds good.
We need to keep moving. It's killing the hobbits.
This will be the death of the hobbits.
Yeah. We
Okay.
don't do good in winter storms, okay?
So as Miragar, as you trudge through this snow, which at this point is very, very high. Are you riding a horse, or are you going to try to ride a horse?
No,
try to
I
ride the
think
bear?
I was. No, I don't think we're that friendly with the bear yet. I feel like I was doubled up on somebody's horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
it was with Aranel.
Probably.
Okay. All right, very good. And as you continue to the north, you come to an area which is very treacherous. It's tough to see in front of you as the snow continues to fall. Blizzard conditions make even holding your hand out in front of your face difficult to see. You look and you can see that the area is very craggy. You would guess that this far north, you might even be walking on sheets of ice. I need for Miragar to give me an explore roll, and due to these conditions, I would take 1 success die off of that.
We're just gonna counter that with a hope point. I'm just gonna roll flat manually.
Hey.
Nice.
Very good. All right. So,
This Miragar got the optional snowshoe expansion for those boots he's got.
and as you are kind of marching forward, you get to a point where you begin stepping on something and you hear cracks beneath your feet. And just as you pull your foot away, you see an ice shelf begin drifting out and open water just before you. So you successfully avoid falling into these frigid waters. But as you continue marching, you do gain 3 points of fatigue.
Ugh, I'm drinking my tonic.
Same girl.
Yeah, I think so. So that halves the fatigue, right?
No, it takes one
Alright.
off,
Oh, okay.
which isn't a lot, but
It's better than none.
everything helps.
Yeah. I'm down to 5 draughts left.
I'm down to 4.
And as you travel along, you can ever present is this veiled ball of light hanging in the sky, almost as if it's hanging from the rafters in a heavy wind, spinning in a wide circle, always keeping its presence known, but never in the same place. You continue marching as you can, and I need yet another travel roll, if you please.
Okay. Since he's mentioned, that we're walking on ice and everything, Thrush is going to be taking great pains to try and make sure we're not walking on the any downward sloping areas where the snow might be falling down into cracks on ice, trying to stay to higher ground.
Okay. And since this area... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
You're all right. You're all right. I was going to say, since this area is more or less uncharted, your maps would probably be useless in this
Okay.
area.
So nuke that 3 at the end, and I won't put it on next time.
Very good. Okay. And that's
Still
still a
being
23.
20. Yep.
Okay. Very good. So you are able to travel for yet another... Let's see. That's 3 days. Or... 2 days, sorry. In these conditions, you're able to travel another 2 days. Go ahead and give me 2 DF and 1 DS.
Four.
Okay. All right. At this point, you notice that you run low on what food stores you have left.
Yeah.
However, and you feel as though up in this place there might still be game up here, but it'll be incredibly difficult to find. However, on the wind, you can kind of hear the call of what sound. It's a strange beast, some sort of maybe a deer. Definitely wild game, but it's deeper, throatier, and warbles on the wind. Larry, I need you to give me a hunting roll, if you please. And due to these conditions, you lose 1 success die on those.
Yep.
Very good. All right. The dice are with you today, seems like.
Well, it's been some hope to counteract it, but yes.
Very good. Okay. And so, as you travel forth, you follow the sound of this warbling call. And there before you, you can see a massive deer. Thick coat of fur. Antlers which rise probably 2 to 3 feet above its head, spread out in a wide array, a massive bone sprouting from its head. It calls out onto the wind and it carries for seemingly miles. And as you draw your bow to loose an arrow at this beast, you hear a whistling. And you hear it warble in pain, and it prances off in one direction before you can get your shot off. I need you to make me an awareness roll real quick.
Okay.
Can Aranel make one?
Sure.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
Okay, very good. So, you don't necessarily see where it came from, what it was, Larry. But, Aranel, you can see, as this is going on, you can see faint shadows in the distance and the barking of dogs on the wind.
Okay.
Seems we're not the only ones out here.
Yes, well, we're expecting some company here at some points. Hopefully it's them and not orcs.
Why would anybody live here? Really? This is ridiculous.
Well, Miragar, I can't tell you why anyone would willingly live here, but if they've been here their whole lives, they've learned how to adapt, I guess.
The orcs have to be dead. There's no way they survived up here.
Well, hopefully it's some friendly men from a tribe that owes us a favor.
And Aranel, as this is happening, you can see that these faint shapes, these silhouettes buried in snow, begin to veer off towards the direction in which this large deer has gone.
All right. I think we'll follow.
Okay. And I assume you all follow?
Yep, gonna keep with them. Which horse did you say Miragar was on? The pony,
The fancy one.
Okay,
That black
Aranel,
one.
Okay, got it.
Feather
Just
off.
making sure. Got it.
And do you all follow stealthily? Do you follow? You just make your presence known as you approach. How do you go about this?
I'd say caution initially until we can identify them.
Okay. And go ahead and, if you want, go ahead and roll another success die.
I was gonna say, do we get a
because-
bonus die because of the
Yeah, thanks-
terrible conditions?
Yeah, thanks to these conditions, you feel as though your position would probably be concealed by the snow.
Okay.
Probably won't help me, but we'll try.
Oh, add a 6 to the end of mine for 29.
Okay, very good, very good. Yep, you all succeeded quite handily. And so you can approach, and as you kind of keep your location unknown, you hunker down into the snow just a bit, and you find that there are 3 shapes huddled over this carcass of this massive deer. And you see next to them, there is a sled with 5 dogs leashed to it. You see that the sled contains a large amount of meat and fur.
Okay. If I remember,
Do you remember what language Jagat spoke? Was it Sindarin?
You remember it's not Sindarin. It's a language that is wholly,
Okay.
for the most part, unknown to you.
yeah.
There are elements of some Elvish tongue to it, as elves basically were the first to devise
Okay.
language, but it is very, very foreign, with only certain things that might have roots in Elvish tongues.
If I remember correctly, Jagat had given us like a necklace or a bracelet or some kind of identifying mark that we could
Yeah,
present.
it was a necklace with the shell on
Yeah.
it.
So Larry would probably approach these people presenting this necklace to see how they respond to it.
And as you approach, you see the dogs begin barking, and you see all three individuals, three men, turn around. And you see in their heavily hooded faces, you see the fur lining around their hoods, waving in the wind. And before you is Jagat himself.
Oh, well, isn't that convenient?
Yeah. It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
He says, I was not anticipating seeing you this far north.
Yes, well, you did have an open invitation for us, and we happened to be in the area.
He laughs. Happened to be in the area.
Well, we do have some business, but no harm in dropping by, right?
Yes. Well, it seems as though luck finds you up here, as we're but a day's march from Surikaila.
Well,
Please come
yes.
come with us. Come back to the village,
if
that you may be warm and fed.
Yeah, if the others didn't initially follow me, I'll just shoot
Yeah.
them.
We have one complication.
Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot about the bear.
yeah. I kind
The
of turned
bear.
we may or may not have picked up an extra companion along the way. Hopefully, that's not an issue.
He gives you a strange look and says, "How you were able to convince a bear to follow you is perhaps there are certain ways, certain spells about you that allow you to do such a thing. But it is not something that I shall question."
Yes, I'm just very good at talking, apparently.
You speak bear.
I wish, but
Even my people have not figured out their tongue yet.
yes, well, I did recognize they do like food just as much as us.
And as you kind of speak back and forth with him, he introduces his 5 dogs, Kaya, Amka, Nanuk, Kupun, and Amagug. And he introduces also the other men who are with him, Arto. You see a large, very stout man with a large brown beard and long arms. And you see he carries with him a large bow, one which you feel as though most normal men would not be able to draw. And you see that the arrow sticking out of the haunches of this, what is essentially a reindeer, is very thick and heavy. Probably only suitable to be fired from such a bow. He introduces you to Vilho, which is another stout man. He has mutton chops that kind of poke out from around his hood, and you see he almost seems to speak directly with the dogs. He gets down on one knee and speaks to them in hushed whispers, and they almost seem to understand him. And you see, as you all are making this, making your introductions, a man kind of appears from the snow, very thin and tall. And you see his eyes are very piercing, strangely bright blue eyes. Uncharacteristic of what you've seen of the Losoth so far, but his eyes pierce through you. And this Jagat introduces as Ailu.
Did the eyes seem natural, or was there some magical effect to them?
They seem natural.
Okay.
You don't sense any presence. You can tell that he's not an elf by any means. He doesn't seem to possess, at least to your knowledge, he doesn't seem to possess any sort of power.
But they're not glowing or anything. They're just blue.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, basically, you just note that it seems as though his eyes could pierce through such a blizzard.
Gotcha.
And you all have your little introductions, and you begin to follow Jagat through the snows.
Does it look like we're following some sort of a trail that is even remotely discernible, or are they following the sun, or...
Give me a hunting roll. Or either a hunting or a scan roll, I'd say.
We're going to go with hunting. If it's still snowing, he's probably going to fail this, but that's okay.
Harry's curious too, so he's gonna. Well,
No.
Yep.
Double again, though.
Nice. All right. And so, as you are marching, there is no discernible path that you are following, and nor does it seem as though you're following the sun, as it is always ever present. However, always on the edge of your vision, you see Ailu finds vantage points and looks out, and you hear he lets out a great whistle so as to make sure that everybody is within earshot. And you look up as he stands on his vantage point, and he points in certain directions and begins marching that way, and the others follow.
Okay. The reason that Thrush was asking about this is he's just trying to see if there's, in these lands that are so foreign to him, he's just trying to figure out if there are landmarks or if they're following some kind of thing. He can't quite figure it out yet, but...
Trying to chart the uncharted.
Yeah, to me it almost looks like this Ailu has some gift for navigation, one way or another.
Something.
And you see...
I might ask Jagat about it, so is this Ailu your guide?
Ailu knows these lands better than any in our tribe.
Yes, he does seem to be quite adept at navigating.
Yes, he is our primary hunter, tracker.
I see. Is he just extremely talented, or does he have some special gift?
Well, some might call it a gift, yes. Some might say that he is blessed by whatever old powers that lie out in the waste. It is unknown to myself, but he does possess at least a very special talent.
Yes, clearly.
As long as he gets us somewhere warm with some hot food, I'll follow him.
And you travel for the remainder of the day, and Ailu is able to find you some shelter for the night, one which you feel as though you might be able to rest comfortably. You all take your rest once again, so if you need to do anything with your rest, you're more than welcome to. And you see that there's a couple of dogs that actually take up very kindly with this bear cub. Kupun, which Jagat informs you means coal. A very pitch black dog with upright ears and a tail which wags furiously. Very thick coat of fur all of these dogs have. All these dogs resemble multicolored Alaskan Malamutes, but they take up very kindly with this bear cub. And these dogs actually take kindly to you all as well.
Are any of these dogs female?
Yes. Kaya, which Jagat informs you means mountain, and you notice that she is actually the largest of the
All right.
dogs. And Amka, which means one with friendly spirit. Saddles up warmly next to all of you. Is very friendly, licks you all in the face.
Oh.
But also you notice that she begs furiously for any scraps that you might have.
I think Aranel would give in. Aranel and Michaela would both give in.
Never give in. Never give in. Never surrender.
Thrush is just like, no people food.
These are just animals.
Share food.
Okay. And so you all rest warmly for the night. The Losoth carry with them very heavy blankets made of fur. And you all rest very, very warmly.
And bears and a dog.
And you notice that you all are ill-equipped, even with your winter clothes. You're ill-equipped for terrain such as this, as you all continue to shiver as you travel.
Yeah, like on a scale of 1 to 10, our best equipment is probably like a 4.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Miragar is surrounded by dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
They all think he's a child, so they're protecting him.
Oh, he's probably got pockets of dried beef. So
Yep. We wake up in the morning and it's like there's a Hobbit face and it's just bear fur, dog, dog, and he's just like.
I'm gonna need some fan art of that.
A mammal igloo. Yep, a mammal igloo for Miragar.
So you travel through a portion of the next day, and eventually you come to Surikaila. And you see a great number of tents with the ice bay of Forodwaith just beyond. It seems as though they made their camp here on the shore. These tents / huts dot the landscape, and you see large bonfires set throughout the village, casting a glow on all of the tents around. And you can see that many of these tents actually have holes in the roofs throughout, through which you see white wisps of smoke travel. And Jagat says, "Welcome to Surikaila."
Thank you. I'm not sure we would have made it in such time or without unfrozen hands if we hadn't run into you.
Yes.
Well, not for long shall you have cold hands. Please, come, be warm. And
as we send down in there, he's going to look around. Thrush is looking and just ask him kind of quietly, have you been set upon by orcs?
And with that, as you kind of make your way down this hill into the camp itself, he shakes his head and says, "Orcs have come down from the mountains, yes. We can discuss it more fully once we get to my tent."
Okay. Yeah, he's just kind of looking to see, assuming, they probably have people guarding, out on the hills and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he's just aware of their footing right now.
Yeah. And you can see that there are, the camp itself is surrounded by a large set of hills which lead down into the bay. And go ahead and give me an awareness roll, actually. Very good.
No. That's
Okay.
Dang it, Larry.
So, Thrush and Aranel, as you're making your way down this hill, you look around, and at the crest of this hill, it's very, very difficult to see. But you can see that there are small tents which are set up on the crest of this hill in multiple places, which are actually lined with this bright white fur, resembling the fur that belonged to the bear which you all had slew in its cave.
Got it.
I cover the bear cub's eyes.
And as you make your way down into the village, you all get strange looks from the people about. You do get looks of recognition from some.
Sure, yeah.
You get a couple of people come up and pat you on the shoulder and speak to you in a tongue which you don't understand. But they do seem somewhat glad to see you. However, you notice a very similar mood here as what has come to Bree. And you see many people come up and they begin unloading the furs and the meat which these dogs were dragging behind them on the sled. And after a little while, all of this meat gets put away, the furs stored and ready for tanning. And Jagat leads you into his tent, which as you enter, you see is the flooring is covered with a very warm fur. Many blankets lie about, many pillows, and a central fire, which still burns in the center. And he gestures that you all have a seat.
Thank you.
And
I think Miragar does that thing where like you stand and you just slowly like rotate yourself. The fire.
The rotisserie Miragar.
First he's got his hands, there, and then he turns around while we're talking, and then he'll turn back around.
And
Miragar is like God. He's not in this conversation at all at this point.
He's listening.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm gonna let the adults talk.
And at that, Jagat produces a spit from behind some boxes that he has, and sets it on the fire, and pulls out a piece of meat and begins turning it over the fire. And as he does, he asks, "So, I must ask, what brings you to our lands?"
The orcs.
Yes.
The Black Hill and the dreams.
Unfortunately.
Yes, those things seem to have followed my people as well from the Isle.
Yes.
The dreams have become more frequent, and orcs have made their way down from the mountains and assaulted the camp more than once.
Yes. We want to find the orc in charge and put an end to this, hopefully.
Oh, I wish you luck in this endeavor, as the days become more bleak. Some of our people have, most ill-advisedly, returned to the old ways. Some have gone across the bay to the east and begun making burnt offerings to the dead king.
I see.
And I'm trying to remember when we got the directions to this place.
I think we got a name. We got a name of the place, I think.
Do we know roughly if that's the direction that the Black Hill is at? I'm trying to recall here. I'm looking at my notes.
You weren't given specific directions, especially from this village, to get to the hill.
Right.
Really, all that you knew was that it was far north of the Lone Lands.
Okay.
So we'll just have to start asking, and Thrush will just say to this dead king, is it a hill? We're looking for a black hill, a dark hill, a large hill, where the orcs may be coming from.
This
a
is
fell
not-
place?
This hill is not one that I have seen. But my uncle, the chieftain of the tribe, he speaks of the reawakening of the old kingdom. one which the dead king ruled over many, many, many years ago. Back when our people would make sacrifices to him. And the longer that this goes on, the more people that leave and make their way back to the east.
Maybe we should talk to your uncle.
If he would allow us an audience.
I think
Does he
that
speak our language?
he speaks a fair bit of your tongue, yes, much as I do. He is undecided as to which route to take. He fears that we must return to the old ways out of necessity, of survival, perhaps appeasing whatever dark forces lie in these lands or have reawoken might prolong our survival.
Perhaps we can provide another option, if he would allow us the chance at least.
Yes. As long as he knows what we did on the island. Maybe that will help sway him into letting us try our hand.
Yes.
Trust that I have passed on the tale of your deeds on that isle. And he knows of you. And I believe that he would be glad to meet you.
And we are, it sounds like our fears or our goals are the same. We wish to find these orcs and vanquish this evil, and it sounds like it is something that is looming over the heads of your civilization. I think we might be able to find some sort of common ground for, I assume, help or something like that.
Indeed. I must warn you, though. He is a very stern and wary man.
Of course.
Grown many in years. He has no taste for browbeating, deeds of valor, or any attempts to confuse him.
Of course.
Appealing to his more courteous side would definitely bode well in any audience with him.
Very good. So Thrush is not allowed to talk. Got it.
Yes, no Thrush, no Aranel, just Larry.
Oh, gosh.
Well, and maybe Miragar. Miragar's
Miragar.
like, the sooner we get the shit over with, the sooner I can go back to my warm hole in the Shire.
If push come to shove, I can magical success it, but
Yeah.
we shouldn't need it.
Okay. And so, he finishes up with his piece of meat and cuts off pieces of it with a jagged knife and hands it to you all. And you feel very comfortable.
Good.
Is there anything else that you would like to ask him? Anything you would like to do before he makes his way to introduce you to his uncle?
I'm probably just gonna ask, like, how long have your people been here in particular? Do you move your village regularly?
We move our village when the need arises. As you can see, and he gestures around to his tent. We are very easily moved.
Yes.
All of our wares are designed to be easily taken down and reestablished elsewhere. But this area has served us well for a generation. At least so long since I've been, well, a child. We've been here.
Yeah, I see. It does seem like a... Well, admittedly, I don't know these lands, but it does seem like a very suitable location.
Yes. Allows us, during the warmer months when the seas melt, it allows us some fishing just off the shore. And even if we are able to bore holes in the ice, we can get some fish. It's very bountiful here if you know where to look.
That I have no doubt.
How do you know what time of day it is if the sun sets so... Well, if it sets.
Yeah. time is not something that is at the forefront of our worries here. We sleep when we're tired, and we awaken when we are rested.
Look over at Miragar.
Okay, maybe this place isn't so bad.
I don't have a problem with place of the people. It's just cold.
And with that, he says, well, the hour does grow a little late. I believe my uncle will probably be taking his rest soon, so if we are to have an audience with him today, it should be soon.
Would it be better if we waited and he's rested, or does that really matter?
It matters not.
Well, then I guess the sooner the better.
All right. And with that, he stands up and puts his cloak about himself. Very thick. Thick enough to where you feel as though it'd probably cut out the wind. And he begins to lead you across the ice towards a larger tent. One which you see that there are some very heavily coated men standing with long spears. The flaps of the tent flap wildly in the wind, but inside you can see the faint glow of another fire. And he says, "Wait here for but a moment."
Of course.
And he goes in, and you can hear muffled words from the inside of the tent. At which point, he comes back out and says, "I vouch for you, but remember my words."
Of course.
And he holds the tent flap open for you all to enter.
Enter.
All right. And as
Did we get his uncle's name?
Oh, you know what? No, I don't think he did. He would have told you that his uncle's name is Egel, E-G-E-L. And as you all enter into this large tent belonging to the chieftain of this tribe of the Lossoth, we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. All right, just gonna lay down here for a second. Wait, what is that? Hey man, what you got? Hold on. Shh. Let me get at it. Wait, is that Tales from the Dragon's Tavern? I don't know, man. Shh. That's a subscription down there. You left one there for me? You gave me a subscription? Dang. Wait a minute. Is that Fear of Ages Past? Give it. Come on, give it to me. Give it. Subscribe. Yeah, man. Come on. What are you waiting for? Let's go. You just gonna sit there and not subscribe or something? Look at me over here. I'm begging. I'm pleading. Come on now. And we are back as you all enter into Egel's tent. You see it's set up in a very similar fashion to Jagat's tent. You can tell that they are definitely related as they have similar tastes. You see many fur blankets lying around. You see all kinds of pillows, but you also see small structures made of sticks and bone, almost Dreamcatcher style, very tribal in nature. But before you sits an old wizened man, very long gray beard, almost to the point where it is white, and thin wispy hair, which he has kind of tied behind his back. You see his dark skin is wrinkled to the point where his eyes seem to squint out at you in a very piercing glare. And Jagat ushers you forward. And Egel addresses you all and says, "Jagat has told me of your deeds of late. Tell me, what would you ask of me or my people?"
Yeah, Larry will walk up and be like, "Well, first and foremost, we thank you and your people for your hospitality. These are treacherous lands for those who are not used to living here.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a courtesy a courtesy roll for your introduction. See? Okay, that's a success.
I love this one.
So good.
I got real
because-
nervous.
That's a success. Okay,
It's
very good.
great success despite the ones.
Oh, it is a great success. Okay, very good. That's crazy, man. Insane.
That scared me.
It scared me too, but then I saw the 6. I'm like, okay.
Okay. And so, I will ask you, what is your goal? What are you potentially seeking? Are you seeking some sort of aid?
I would say we're mainly looking for information on how to get to this so-called Black Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if they're willing to at least give maybe some like supplies, like some winter clothing or furs that could help us on our journey. But I don't think I would ask for any of their people to join us. This is our task.
Okay.
If any of them volunteer to join us of their own volition, then obviously we'll welcome them, but we're not going to make anyone join us.
Okay. Very good. So this will be considered a very reasonable request here.
We bring you one bear.
We brought you a food source for the.
Bring an offering of a bear. A very
It's like-
unique gift. So this should be very, very easy for you to
I
do.
mean, we convinced the dwarves to bring an army. This should be simple, like, hey, can we get some directions?
Yeah. Okay. The more difficult part would be asking for supplies and such in such a inhospitable land.
Yeah.
But you do feel as though it is a reasonable request, and so your resistance rating is 3, so you need 3 successes within 4 attempts. So very, very much doable.
All right.
And with that, Egel gives you a nod and says, "We are glad to have men and elves and small men," as he regards you, Miragar.
Miragar just nods. He's not going to get into the politics of things with this guy.
I mean, he lives in the middle of nowhere. You're probably the first hobbit he's ever seen.
And probably the only hobbit he will ever see.
We are glad to have such folk of grand repute amongst our people. Please, tell me what I can do to aid you.
We have come from our lands because the same nightmares and horrors have been plaguing our people. We believe these orcs from this so-called Black Hill are the source, and we wish to deal with the problem for the sake of all peoples on our lands.
Yes, they have become a scourge on our people as well. They assault our outer defenses on a regular basis, to the point where some have found it hopeless to stay here and perhaps appease the dark powers that lie within the hill.
I understand that people are afraid, but we won't get too into anything we've done. Jagad has told you that we helped you before, but we feel that we have at least encountered some of these enemies before and dealt a blow to them. We think now would be the time to perhaps push back. We would like just to know where this Black Hill is, and if possible, perhaps just a few supplies to allow us to make the journey ourselves. We don't ask for any of your people to risk their own lives. You have your own concerns. This is our problem to solve.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a persuade roll and take a success die for your standing with Jagat and the Lost Oth in general. Okay. Success. All right. All right. And Egel says, "I will be happy to tell you all that I know of the hill and where you might find it. However, supplies are scant, especially for the number of people that we must feed.
Alrighty. I'm gonna try to enharden him. I think I might say... Let's see. Probably say something along the lines of, well, I understand that supplies are scarce. We're not asking for much, maybe just a few furs. Food perhaps we can deal with on our own. But we want to be able to help your people in any way we can, and taking as little as possible. But these lands are treacherous and we are not familiar with them. So any aid that could be rendered would be much appreciated.
Okay. And you're attempting an enharden for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
No extra die, but that's okay.
Alright. Very good. And with that, he says, perhaps I have some additional furs that might warm you and keep the winds away from you.
Anything you could spare would be appreciated. Could I use insight to kind of get an idea where his head is? Because Jagat told me he's kind of split on what to do with his people, whether to go back to the old ways or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me an insight roll. Very good. Okay. Yeah. Listening to the manner of his speech, you get that he is very worried about the future of his people. And while he is using supplies and stores as a medium for negotiating ways in which he can help you, you can tell that the supplies are not necessarily the focus of where his mind is at, even though that is what he's arguing. He is. You can tell that there's something else on his mind, and you'd guess based on what, as you said, based on what Jagat had told you, he's deciphering as to what their next course of action should be. But with that, you do gain another couple of successes. So,
all right, I will probably just kind of close out saying, like, I understand that you're very conflicted about what you should do next with your people, and that is your choice to make, but we would at least request that we're given the opportunity to at least try to help things out for ourselves and our people in our way, which will also potentially benefit yours. And if we're unsuccessful, then, well, nothing really changes for you. You still have to make the same choice. But if we do succeed, then it's only beneficial to you.
I will admit that the future lies in question. Many of our people have fallen back into the old ways as the Black Hill awakens once again, and the King of the Dead threatens to take back his kingdom as he returns from the hot south. But any aid that you can lend to us as recompense for any aid that we provide you would be most appreciated. You will have the wares that you need. And with that, he turns to Jagat, who's kind of waiting off in the corner. He says, Nephew, be sure that they are warm and fed for their journey. And with that, Jagat gives him a nod and acknowledges you all.
Thank you. We much appreciate this. Now, do you know what direction we have to head to find this Black Hill?
There is only one way to reach the hill, and it is a perilous one.
Well, we expected as much.
You must find a ruined castle of Angmar that dwells in the hills far to the east. Tales say that the place is called Sinasgair, and that a sorcerer holds the path to Amon Guruthos, as it is called. But be warned, as you traverse that way, you will find the hill, or rather, the hill will find you.
What do you mean? Is it cursed in some way?
As you inch ever closer to it, it will appear in your sight. Although the closer you get, the further away it seems, and just as you turn away, it seems to approach you. It is a fell device of the evil men of old and the king of the dead, who dwelt there at one point in ages past. You must find Sinasgare, as legend says that the only way into the hill is through that old fell fort.
Well, it seems we have our work cut out for us. Thank you. We will do our best.
You're welcome. And should you be successful, you also have my thanks, and you do have my thanks for what happened in bringing my nephew back to me.
Of course. We appreciate the opportunity to try. That's all we asked for, and you've provided it. Thank you.
He gives you a nod and asks,
Is there any other information that you seek from me that I might give?
Do you have any advice about the lands that we'll have to travel through?
They are perilous, to be sure, and one must be well equipped in order to survive. But should you stay the course and avoid the shadows that dwell within, I feel that...
and he looks at you kind of knowingly, and you catch his his gaze kind of glance at your spear.
You shall succeed.
Yes. I've been told that some of my ancestors performed some deeds of great value. I hope to measure up to them.
Yes. Old tales speak of sea kings and elf princes with bright swords who drove the Witch King away. I've begun to wonder where those heroes are now, and why, in a land where the sun refuses to set, does darkness still plague us? But perhaps you may just be the ones to bring peace.
Well, we will certainly try our best. Thank you.
He gives you a nod and says,
And with that, I've begun to grow weary, so
Yes.
if you remain until the morn, seek me out should you need any more information or aid. But I
Yes.
must retire.
Of course. Thank you. Yes. That sounds like a prudent course of action. We will need rest before our journey.
alright,
I'm
and
going to turn to Thrush and be like, are you familiar with any of these places he spoke of?
I've heard of both of them from the stories we were told earlier.
Yes.
The path led through that. And when he says King of the Dead, he's referring to the Witch King?
that's
Or-
your best guess, yes.
Okay. That's what Thrush assumed. Okay. But who the sorcerer is, I don't know. I highly doubt the Witch King himself is there.
Yes, probably not. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. And yes, we're going to need to just take whatever they get us and what we can do and make sure that we make haste.
And Moss, would you say we've completed a leg of our journey to be able to try to remove fatigue, or?
Yep, you beat me to it. I was just about to say,
Yeah.
everybody can go ahead and make travel rolls to remove fatigue if you'd like.
All right.
I just remembered something.
Okay. No extra, but I've got my horse.
Have the travel pillow. Do I want to also?
And then,
spell
is it
out?
just one fatigue per success?
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
I'm going to.
And I think the horse helps a little.
Yeah, depending on the
horse
horse.
removes some.
Yeah, I know my pony's 4.
Sweet, I get to take 6 off. That's freaking amazing.
What?
Nice. Oh, because
Yeah,
she
well,
a
That's right,
horse.
because the
4.
horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got
Golly.
2.
Good on you.
I'm so glad I have a horse now. Thank you, Hope, and thank you, Travel Pillow.
Can I take 4 off as well because I have the bear now?
Once it grows up and it can be a mount, sure.
The Hobbit who rode a bear and wielded
Look,
a skillet.
I'm just thinking of in
And
the
worse.
future with the scoring of the Shire. We don't know who led that army.
Exactly.
There was no
I think Frodo
confirmation
led
that there
army.
was. No, it was Merry and Pippin.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Frodo was a little busy at the time.
There was never specifics on if there was or was not a bear.
I mean,
They did not mention a bear. No. As we're taking that long rest, Thrush is going to wander over to Aranel and say, I'm not sure who could use this the most, but he's going to hand her his traveling cordial because he has absolutely no use of it.
that's true.
And he's still got 8 droughts in it because he's only ever used 2.
Yeah.
It's like, this might be more useful for you, and just nod over at Miragar in the future, especially
I mean,
where we're going.
I've got 4 left. You want to swap?
It makes sense to be probably in
Or-
your guys' hands, because if
Yeah.
you need to administer it to anyone and do whatnot, yeah.
Thrush
That's
literally does not gain fatigue because he's better than us.
He just has the hardiness of Elendil. As long as he keeps that hat off.
I
Put
will
the hat
take
on.
your 12.
I mean, I'm assuming then, basically the way I'm treating it, Moss, is if we're going to get into a fight, he'll plop the helmet on. But if we get surprised, I would say it's probably very viable that he would not, unless we have a chance to plop that thing on his head and pull it off the saddlebag of the horse, he would probably go into the fight
think
without it.
helmets. I do think helmets are the one thing that you can like put on with like an extra action because they're light.
You can, yeah. It's just that's why I was saying if it's a surprise thing, he might not be able to. So it might be at the beginning of a fight, he might have to actually go
Retrieve
without
them.
it the first round or so.
Yeah, that's basically. So, I mean, I would say to don it and doff it would be a secondary action.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right. And so you make your way back out into the freezing cold. Strangely enough, you do feel warm as the glow of these massive fires lights up your face. But Jagat regards you and says, I will be sure to provide you any furs or cloaks that you might need for your journeys, as well as enough meat for your travels.
Thank you.
But please, feel free to share my tent. There's plenty of room.
Yes, thank you. I think we will take you up on that offer.
All right. And so while you are here, is there anything else that you'd like to do? Anybody else that you would like to talk to? I know you only know 2 people, but
Yeah, I don't. You know,
Miragar would go up to Jagat at one point and say, I know your people don't really use maps like we have used before, but is there any important landmarks we should look for as we continue north? Maybe ones that are used to rest, or places you know are good for such things?
there is a monument to the east, just past the boundaries of this bay. We call it Tusk Hill. That is a place where hunters will find refuge when they travel eastward.
Tusk Hill. Thank you. And then he steps back into the fire. The range of the fire.
Thrush was the only person he was going to attempt to find, but he's not certain if he can, is the man with the blue eyes, because he wanted to just chat with him about the land and get even an inkling of an understanding of how he can find his way out around so easily. And if he can't, he can't.
Okay. If you ask Jagat about him, he will mention that that Ailu does not speak the common tongue, but he would be more than happy to be an intermediary between you two if need be.
Well, that sounds interesting. I'd probably train Thrush for that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but what I kind of learned from the elves was that my ancestry potentially leads back to the Lost Sot in some extent. So if there's any sort of, like, I don't know, lore keeper or anything of that nature, I might ask Jagat about that to see if perhaps I can learn anything else about my ancestry.
Jagat tells you that there is no lore keeper per se. Most of our tales are told around these bonfires and over meals.
I see.
However, do you know anything that we might go off of as perhaps tales have been told of such a thing?
And I would kind of pass on to what I learned in Rivendell.
This is strange. And you see he kind of strokes his chin a little bit. He says, I am actually named from one of my kin from long ago. He was known as Jagat of the Bay. Tales tell of him coming from the south and taking refuge with our people for a spell.
I see. Well, perhaps we're cousins and we don't even know it.
You see he clasps your shoulder and says, all the more reason for us to ensure your success.
Yes. Well,
I will not have my kin fall into the snow.
Well, thank you.
Not while I draw breath.
Yes, well, if I've learned anything from traveling with my friends here, it's that family, both that which you are provided with at birth and those you find along the way, are extremely valuable.
Indeed they are. In these lands most especially.
Of that I have no doubt. And I believe Thrush wanted to speak with Ailu.
Alright, and Jagat leads you over to a smaller tent. You see that Ailu is currently sharpening what looks to be a dagger, kind of a jagged steel dagger. Very nicked and worn from the looks of it. But he is currently running it over a whetstone and then running it along a strip of leather as he regards you. The two exchange words in their own tongue. And Jagat addresses you and says, what is it that you wish to ask of him?
I would like to know the basics. What he would tell any first-time hunter going with him. The safest routes. Way to find landmarks. A way to reorient yourself if you do get lost. Simple things.
And the two exchange words once again, and Jagat relays to you. It says, Ailu has eyes and ears which fare better in these lands than most. But the one piece of advice that he says is to look out for the shadows in a land which the sun does not set and all is white. Shadows can be your friend as well as your enemy.
That is helpful. And just grill him. Basically, that's the biggest takeaway that he was hoping to get. Grill him just about basics. Not trying to make him, feel good about himself, but just simple things to reiterate to Thrush in his mind that he understands the basics of, what does deep snow look like? How do you know you're going to fall in a hole all of a sudden, as opposed to walking across, crust?
Yeah,
How can you
absolutely.
spot the difference between the snow and the ice?
Yeah, exactly.
He gives you some tips and pointers, things which you feel as though you could successfully relay back to the group.
We're going back to first edition D&D. You need that 10-foot pole.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's what we got Miragar for. If the ice starts breaking, we know it's not going to hold us. Come back, come on.
Hurry back,
Miragar's like,
Miragar.
Hatch made it a rope.
Just
No,
run
you'll
him
be
out
on the
a
horse.
rope.
You'll be on the horse the whole time, safe.
No, we got to make a big fishing pole, but instead it's Miragar. In the end, we just cast him out, bring him back.
And the
in.
bear
Okay.
is trying to get him, and that's how...
Oh no!
No, okay. Wow. Poor Miragar. He's become bait.
He's
Wow.
just a very enthusiastic guide.
Exactly. Once we're done with all of that, letting him back to whatever he's doing and thank him.
He gives you a nod, and Jagat and Ailu exchange words once again. And you all take your leave. And as you all are kind of getting comfortable, perhaps you are standing around the bonfire. You see multiple people are sitting around these large fires as though this is kind of a social convention for them where they all talk and they all share a meal, exchange stories, and you actually hear a woman singing. And you look over and you see, kind of wrapped in this large blanket, you see her holding a small child, maybe a year old or so. But she sings to the child in her own tongue. And Jagat regards you all and says, "An old song that our people have sung to children for many generations."
Any of the words sound familiar, or is it completely in their language?
It is completely in their language, but Jagat would be more than happy to translate for you if you'd like.
Yep. Very happy to hear it and, well, sort of learn it.
The verse that she's singing goes, "So hush now, hush, and mind your tread. For songs are traps, and names bring dread. And he who listens long enough will find the snows are not so tough. It breaks, it gives, it takes."
Rush is just going to kind of try and memorize the tune as best he can, humming it to himself.
Aranel, I need you to learn the language so you can sing it. I'll do the music, you do the singing.
I could just translate it into Elvish. Or, you know.
Well,
Saying everything sounds better in Elvish.
I might be a little biased.
Cinderin or the other one.
Have you heard it in the original Elvish?
That's not.
Have you heard it in Quindi?
Yeah.
Nice.
I always spoke Elvish before it was cool, before it was Cinderin.
Nice.
All right. And you all share a meal, swap stories. Is there anything else that you'd like to do before you retire for the evening? Or
Yeah,
whatever equivalent of evening this is.
Go outside, have a pipe, and then just while he's doing that, watch the shadows, how they move. You know, stick a stick in the snow and just watch the shadow move as he finishes the pipe, see how it works, and then head back in after that.
I might converse with him, like, should we leave the bear with them or take it with us?
If that seems comfortable with the dogs, I would say let them feed it. We're going to be having enough trouble feeding ourselves on this trip.
All right.
It's louder than I am.
I'd probably turn to Jagat and be like, can you take care of the bear cub while we're away?
We can
Thank
help
you.
take care of it with, so long as it's young and until it's able to fend for itself.
Yes, thank you. I don't think we'll be gone that long. I certainly hope not.
Perhaps this young cub will become a vital ally.
Yes, perhaps. Moss, this is not D&D. You don't get animal companions randomly. The party, observe.
Perhaps it'll start thinking it's a dog.
Yes, perhaps.
I just want to put armor on it and teach it how to jump off the top rope, you know?
All right. And so you all retire. You wake up the next day, or at least what you would perceive to be the next day. You figure that if you're going to approach Egel for anything, you can do so at this point. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to commence in whatever way you will.
Think we need anything else from him?
No, I think we've gotten the amount of info they even have, really.
Yeah, unless Thrush has any last-second questions about the terrain.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get a whole lot more information. Doesn't sound like they've necessarily been there too close.
I can't say I blame them. Sounds like a horrible, foul place.
All right. So if you all are going to set out, you all gather up your new winter clothing, load up all of your stores of food, as much as you can carry. I'm going to need a travel roll from our guide.
All right. We'll not add a die for the map.
You can add half a die.
Bell.
Very nice.
Rudolph likes us today.
Very nice. And so you set off, seemingly in a picturesque manner. You crest the top of the hill which surrounds Surikaila, seeing the fires continuing to burn, the people milling about as ants in the distance, going about their business. And you continue on, leaving the site of the village behind in the snows. And you travel forward for 2 days. The entire time, the time between snows when the sun shows its face, you are blinded as the light reflects off of the surface of the snow. The mountains glow in a fiery light. I'm going to need 2dF, if you please.
You got it. Okay, not bad.
Okay. And so, on the second day, a sudden blizzard shows its face. You see the large front come up over the mountains and make its way almost down in a waterfall of pure white come down the face of the mountain and make its way towards you, almost in an inescapable torrent of ice falling from the sky. A cold wind blasts through you. You know that should you have proceeded this far without the Losoth cloaks, you would have been in very dire straits. However, you are affected by this. Even these Losoth cloaks cannot stop all of the wind, and so this does count as you encounter these Arctic winds. This does count as a moderate endurance loss for severe cold.
Oof.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to roll one more, just in case. And so, oh, very good. Okay, that is a good thing. Because that was favored. And so...
Okay.
No.
I was going to say, for
Yeah.
Eye of Sauron is a good
So-
thing. I don't want to know.
you all do lose 1 point of endurance as you traverse this ice and snow and try to find your way through this blizzard. And as
You
such...
mean we gain a point of fatigue, or we actually lose endurance?
No, you lose endurance.
Okay.
And as such, you feel as though you are going to continue to grow more and more weary today the longer you stay out in this cold. And I would have the hunter give me a hunting roll to see if you can find some sort of sign of potential shelter to keep you away from this cold. That's going to lose a success die, by the way.
Alright, well, good thing I'm spending a hope. Well,
Gandalf!
Very nice. Okay.
Gandalf plus 6.
All right. And in short order, within probably half an hour, as luck would have it, or as Gandalf would have it, you come across a large rock which kind of juts up out of the land and makes its way up into the sky, kind of curving forward towards the east. It matches the description of the landmark that Miragar had heard of, Tusk Hill. And you are able to find shelter rather quickly without any further endurance loss. However, thus far, you have gained 2 points of fatigue.
Man,
We
I'm
get
gonna-
ourselves settled in there. Thrush is just going to look at the big rock and just say, shadows indeed. As he's getting himself hunkered down and making sure that everybody's in shelter as best we can. In this lovely spot that we found.
All right.
Miragar pulls out his dagger and Cars, Miragar was here.
No, but I think Miragar will leave something here. Just some basic, very basic equipment that they've had, you know. So
And as such, you can see that this Tusk Hill actually, you make your way inside, and there is actually a pretty cavernous area kind of towards the bottom of the hill, and you can see that it stretches pretty deeply into the face of the hill. Do you explore the hill at all?
I mean, if it looks like maybe there's greater shelter, I'd look around, like maybe a cavern or something.
I'd say
Thrush wants to look no matter what.
you'd guess that the I mean, obviously the further you get into a cave, the farther away from the cold you get.
Yeah.
So probably the deeper you go, the more likely you are to find restful sleep. However, you do find some signs of life in here. You see old bedrolls, scraps of fur, which have been discarded, bones from frozen bones covered in ice, which you would guess had been picked clean by some of the Lossoth who had been taking refuge here. However, I would also have somebody give me a scan roll really quickly.
I wonder who that could be.
Okay. Deeper into this cavern, your elvish eyes pick out what looks to be some larger logs,
Okay.
kind of arranged around in what looked to have been, I don't know, something that would have resembled a large bonfire or a pyre, so to speak.
Okay.
And you can see as you're looking out, you see just the faintest glint of light shining down into the cave, almost as if there is a small skylight which shines down upon it.
Okay, ventilation.
Everyone
That's good.
gets knocked out?
Do you approach it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you all approach it?
Yeah.
so yeah.
Definitely. It looks inviting. It looks like a good place to probably.
Be ambushed.
Yeah.
No!
As you approach this, you can tell that this was no mere campfire. In fact, you can see that this was actually arranged in what looks to be a pyre. And you can see, as you peer along, you can see bones, charred bones, black, littering this pile of soot and ash. And on the walls, you can see what look to be red paintings, symbols, iconography. And
on seeing
on
that,
the... Go ahead.
I think on seeing all this, Larry's maybe going to tell you to just stop for a second and be like, do you think this is one of these sacrifice or ritual sites they mentioned?
Likely, that's why I'm interested.
And as you say this, you look in the back wall of the cavern. You see in this red coloring, you see a depiction of a great eye on the back wall. I'm going to need everybody to give me a shadow test for dread. That'd be valor.
Yeah, don't like that.
Right.
Bend a hope on that one, because I have horrible luck with those.
I have good luck on these things as well.
I'm going to use this last fellowship point to make it favored. And I'm glad I did.
Get out!
Okay, that's a success from everybody. Okay, very good. So
You've
all...
seen this eye before, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. You all have hardened your will against the effects of the shadow, enough to the point where a mere sacrificial pyre does not shake you to your core, as it would most normal folk. But you can definitely tell that this is probably not the doings of orcs. Whoever was here was definitely worshipping some of the darker powers.
Maybe that sorcerer they talked about?
Could be. Is there snow in here? Did you say?
Just a little bit under the skylight.
He is going to go, Thrush is going to go pick up a couple of handfuls of it and go over to where that thing is on the wall and just put it on there and just start scrubbing that eye off of the wall.
Okay. Very good. And while you're doing that, I would say, Thrush, if you could give me probably an awareness roll, maybe.
Okay.
Thrush is great at those.
Actually succeeded.
Very good. Okay. As you are scrubbing this off, you can tell that this is not paint. This is blood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. He's just going to kind of grimace and growl. I don't know if it's blood from animals or not, but it's definitely blood. Foul. Whatever.
Yes.
He's just trying to trail off into mumbling.
I can see why Jagat and his people would prefer not to return to these ways.
Well, once he gets that cleared off, he's just going to kind of, wipe his hands on his pants and his tunic and say, well, maybe we don't go too close to this pyre for our camp.
Perhaps not. As nice of a fire as it would be.
Is there any wood in there left? Charcoal? Anything that will still burn?
Yeah. There's enough left. It doesn't seem as though all of the wood had burnt up. You can find enough wood that would probably last you until the morning. And given that a lot of it is already burnt, you'd guess that it's probably pretty easily started back up.
I'd say we take a few choice little tiny bits and throw them in our bag just in case we can't find anything else to burn farther, even if it means our fire here is going to be a little smaller.
That's prudent.
Okay. So with that, I would say any craft rolls that you make to build a fire from here forward would gain a success die.
Nice.
Very nice.
Okay. And so, you all set up camp within Tusk Hill. The winds outside whistle and howl, and you begin to hear almost faint whispers on the wind, although you're not entirely sure. It's hard to say over the howl. But you do have shelter enough to get you through your rest, and you do you regain that one endurance loss.
Nice.
So is this a prolonged rest then?
Yes.
Fortunately, we're out of fellowship points.
Yeah, that's right, though.
Points well spent.
Absolutely. And so, as you all set out once again the next day, I would ask for yet another travel roll, if you please.
All right. I was amused by the epic dog battle in the background there by JJ.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
Extraordinary success. Okay.
Even without my maps. It's all about that talk about the shadows, obviously.
You continue traveling for another 4 days, and it is very slow going. Luckily enough, as you set out, the snow and the blizzard has receded. It is but a faint flurry at this point. While the snow has not quite stopped, you can still see a decent distance away, while the mountains to the far north are still shrouded by a faint haze. You can see well enough to be able to trace your steps. I will need another 2df, if you please.
Got it.
Okay. So that is a 4. We're going to keep that 4, but I'll have you roll that 2df again because we just did that.
Oh, okay.
Get some Gandalf runes.
Hey!
Okay, very good.
Yeah, no.
Okay, and so, as you all continue to travel, I would have just out the gate, look out, would you please give me an awareness roll?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Okay, very good. As you travel along, you can see shadows moving on an outcropping just off to your right. You can see a number of hooded faces looking down, their eyes glowing. While their faces are concealed, you see glowing eyes beneath hoods looking down on you. And you see the tips of spears poking out just over the top of the hill.
Well, it seems we're not alone.
Are they friendly? Are they more Lasoth? Or are they... Do we think they may be orcs? Or... sorcerers? Whatever.
I think people that can provide Miragar fireworks.
Well, our eyes don't glow like that.
Should we keep moving, or should we maybe make a stand? What we?
And perhaps we should try to be subtle and see what they are.
And as you all kind of look upon them, you can tell that they can tell that you are aware to their presence. You see them disappear behind this outcropping once again.
Okay.
Perhaps we should just be at the ready.
Yes.
But if they don't hurt us, we should probably just keep moving.
Maybe they are some form of ally that we just untrusting strangers. Hopefully.
Perhaps.
I like how optimistic you are, Miragar.
Well, glowing eyes. Maybe they're an animal of some kind. Maybe we'll find some game if we're lucky.
Yes, wearing hoods.
That's.
Thrush is just gonna grumble about this place.
Come now, Thrush. I thought you were a ranger of the north. Apparently not this far north.
Trying to get my bearings.
Well, I said I was a ranger of the north. I didn't mean this far north.
South north.
That just reminds me of like the deep south thing from Little Nicky, but reverse.
Deep north.
Yes.
Okay. And so you continue traveling forward. You don't catch sight of them again. and you stop to make camp. Do you want to try to seek shelter?
If possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, I would say probably you can either do a hunting roll or a scan roll would suffice, as the conditions are clear enough. You feel as though you might be able to find something.
Go with scan, I think.
Would you like me?
Yes. Because
Okay.
I'm fairly certain you're favored. Yes, you are.
Yep.
Okay.
And I've got 4 pips.
Very good, very good. Okay, so as you continue traveling, you all begin to grow weary. This leg is going to gain you another 2 points of fatigue,
Nope.
but Aranel, as you peer about, you do spy a cluster of thick evergreen trees. Their needles have gathered snow. The branches droop with the weight of the snow, but you feel as though the ground beneath them would hopefully be at least somewhat sheltered from the wind and the snow.
Well, we shall make camp under the trees.
Excellent. It's always a good place to take shelter if you can find one in a storm like this.
And I'm going to need, in order to start this fire, I am going to need a craft roll, if you please.
I think we got a bonus die.
If you want to use it. If you want to use
Ah. How much kindling were we able to retrieve?
it.
Like, do we have a finite amount of uses then?
I'd say you were probably able to gather enough for one.
Okay.
And so to find kindling, I would say go ahead and give me a hunting roll or maybe explore roll.
Yeah, look for pine cones.
Okay. Very good, very good. All right, so you gather enough fallen branches from these pine trees that you feel as though you would be able to set a decent fire. However, they are, as you handle them, they are covered in snow, and so starting a fire would lose a success die.
Who's got the most crap?
I've got 3 unfavored, target 14.
Yeah.
Favored with 1.
I've got unfavored 3 with 16, so probably you.
Alright, and then did you say we get a
Minus-
die for the kindling?
If you decide to use the kindling.
Do we trust my rolls, or should I just magic?
I mean, you might as well just use it, I think.
Especially since you're already probably got a bit of fatigue and
What?
not built up for
Let's-
you.
Save it. I'll do a hope to cancel.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
At this point, the conditions
no! I should have just magicked it.
do not serve well to start a fire, as this wood is too wet. However, you are comforted in the fact that the sun does not necessarily set here. While the conditions may be very cold, you are kept somewhat warm by the Lostoth cloaks.
Bloody
So
heat.
Everyone, time to snuggle.
and
Big cuddle puddle under the tree.
Chest first! Just to channel a little bit of Dread Pirate Roberts there.
all right, and as this is going on, I would have the lookout give me another awareness roll, or anybody really.
I can do it.
Yes, you
There we
can.
go. That's where my successes are.
Okay, very good. As you're trying to start this fire, you're having such a difficult time getting it to go, getting it to start. But over the sounds of the clumps of snow plopping to the ground, you hear rhythmic plodding across the snow behind you.
We have company.
It's okay. We rolled a Gandalf. That means it's going to be something good.
Yeah.
Well, maybe no fire then. Anyway.
Perhaps it was a good thing.
Yes.
Do you see anything through the branches looking that way?
As you look through the branches, you see cloaked individuals on shoes which are, you can tell that they are made of sticks sticks and bones so as to widen the footprint of these individuals so that they are actually able to walk atop the snow. And you can see that they are coming. They are kind of hunched over, their footsteps incredibly quiet as they don't sink into the snow. You see spears held out in front of them, almost as if they are getting ready to attack.
Okay.
Aranel is at the ready.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we all kind of get ready for possible,
Yeah, Larry is alert. He's gonna pull out that lost slot token we have just in case they're friendly, though. And have it presented.
do we maybe want to, maybe our Thrush want to proclaim, we're here, we know you're there? In some sort of awe-inspiring manner?
Do we know that they know that we are here?
They seem to probably be aware.
Do you know if they know that you are there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
they
you
seem
can tell
like-
that they are approaching you
Dang it.
specifically.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. She's just gonna shoot at them if they look hostile. But we'll let the boys talk first.
And Thrush is just going to say out in the tongue that we know, since we don't know their tongue. We are friends of Jagat. Choose your actions wisely.
And you hear they stop just on the outside of this cluster of trees. And you hear shouted over the wind, Mita Asia Sinula ad Medan Messiame!
Does it sound like a hostile tone?
Give me an insight roll.
Yes, I will.
Everything sounds like a hostile tone to Thrush, so don't have him check. They spoke at us. Get them.
Great success. Okay, yeah, you can tell that they are, it is a hostile tone, but also a wary and inquisitive tone.
Maybe the medallion.
Larry's gonna get up and just present the Lost Soft medallion and see how they respond to that.
And you see just on the outside, do you approach them with it?
I just get close enough that it can be clearly visible, like I'm hand outstretched with it dangling down from my hands.
Okay. And as you do, you see that they lower their spears and they give you a nod.
Okay.
And you recognize this as some sort of like an understanding.
Yeah.
They're still wary of you, and you see that they don't have any inclination to interact with you any further, as it seems as though that token that you possess grants you passage.
Okay.
Aranel will lower her bow.
All right.
Just.
Well, Larry will kind of just try and nod to them and let them be on their way. If they
And
plan
Thrush will stand there and watch them as they leave into little tiny dots on the horizon before they go back in.
And just as they begin to turn away, you see what would most definitely be the leader holds up his finger, and the others stand to attention for a moment. And they all look at each other, and they begin to run off in another direction.
Did we hear anything?
Give me an awareness roll.
Yeah, I think all of us will.
My elven senses are tingling.
My Gandalf senses are tingling.
I'm staring at them.
Yeah, me and Thrush are like, what the hell?
So yeah, there's
Well-
supposed to be some weird cultural thing.
Let's see. So we've got one. Aranel, did you get? Okay, you got a great success. So you can pass that 6 on to somebody if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay.
Which
And-
one of you wants it? Thrush?
Whatever makes the most sense for Aranel is fine.
I feel like maybe Thrush, since he's more of the battle hardy of the group.
Probably just. I'm just staring at them. You probably just
Like-
elbow him
It's like, Thrush, do you hear that?
and just.
All right. And as you all sit there and you try to suss out what it was that those men had heard, Larry, and I'm sorry, who did you say you passed it to?
Thrush.
Larry, Thrush, and Aranel. You can hear whispers on the wind once again. Very familiar. And this time you can actually suss out what it's saying.
No fire burns, no dawn will break. No living breath the silence wake. Come close, come near, that sorrow bind. Flesh and fear and name behind.
That's not creepy at all.
And
Larry's just gonna kind of stand up, put his spear in the air, and try to glint some sun off of it, because it's like, this is some fell shit. I know my spear tends to do pretty well with that. We'll see if it does anything.
And as you do this, you can see shapes shambling towards you in an unorthodox pattern of movement. You can see that the dead have awoken.
Yeah.
And they approach. And I think that is where we are going to end today's episode.